What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. And we're back with the Eternal Empire, our efforts to bring the entirety of the old world under the forces of order, and we're doing a pretty good job of it so far. We've been fighting up in the north here, and basically beating back the forces of Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. There have been a couple of little scrums and skirmishes. We now have the Burning Monolith under our control, and we're going to send Emperor Karl Franz to the east to take on the Writhing Fortress. And we're coming hard in here with Jackson Nussbacher coming back in to help us out and deal with Archaon and his big forces near the Howling Citadel. It's been kind of fun up north fighting all these guys here because, well, there've been 4 or 5 fights, and we finally started getting to fight some Dark Elves. I'm getting ahead of myself and all that. But we also have a big fight going down in the east against the Orcs and Goblins. We have a fight in the south that we're kind of gearing up for to finally deal with the Nurgleites down there under Kugath Plaguefather. But that's been one fight after another, and we've actually had to withdraw because our forces weren't strong enough. So I'm thinking about either getting a second Lord down there or something similar. And in Norska, we have been basically traipsing across the entire landscape, dealing with all of the Norscan tribes, and they are right now currently in trouble because Kostalin, from our friends in Kislev, are going after the Monolith of Catan, and I believe that's the last of their fortresses and their last stronghold. The game catches up to me.
I don't care. I'd enjoy murdering.
Yes, it's their last settlement, and then we just have the Cool and a few other of the Norscan tribes to deal with. But while we're in here, we might as well just get on with the day, so let's see if we can get any trade agreements or anything going with, forces that we actually want to get going with. We do not want to engage in any peaceful treaties or anything with the dead. The Warhost of the Apocalypse wants to peace out. That's kind of interesting. But we are still going to keep pushing on. So let's see what upgrades can be available. Now, these places, we don't want to invest any money, and we pulled PC back because his forces were getting a little bit haggard.
To the provinces?
And, yeah, he needs some time to sit and recover. So we're going to worry about that later.
Yes, my lord.
Let's just put him like that so that we don't forget him. We're not going to be upgrading anything, but we'll let the other nations go and get it all started. And Stuko is moving east. He's still got to bust his butt to get up into the mountains, and once he's there, we can start dealing with some of the Orcs and Goblins that have come up. There are a couple of Wa armies there, but we do have Ian Helberg over here that we can reinforce and send east as well. Got a lot of armies on the go, and we're still making a fair amount of coin, so it shouldn't, in theory, be a problem. The fact that the Khemri Undead for the Tomb Kings are pushing out as far as they are, they're becoming a regional power. So we might have to send forces to deal with them sooner rather than later. I mean, the Tomb Kings are a weird faction to fight. Their infantry and troops are really weak, but their monsters are great, and their lords are really strong.
I will not speak with enemies of the Empire. I count you as such.
Yeah, peace treaty for 1,000 coin. No. That's just a giant middle finger to Archaon. He's trying to peace out because he knows we're about to curb stomp him. Karazakarak, our ally, is a new regional power, so that's always a good thing. It's nice to see the dwarves come up on that, and we are fully allied with them, I believe. Yes, Karazakarak and the other 2 dwarven factions that are still left are our big allies, so we're good. Alright, so now up in the mountains here, we had our forces split and heading 2 different directions.
Now, war call.
But this is just kind of a cleanup. Auto-resolve these because we don't have any enemy lords to deal with.
Raise Sigma.
Might as well deal with the level ups that we got here. Can't get the last rank of Mentor till he caps out, so let's grab him the spread control. And then for the Warrior Priest, I think we're done on this section, so we're back over here. Soothsaying is good. Cloud's army, he has his Warrior Priest in Ricard, has leveled as well, so we'll grab Fervor. And that helps there. Then just to the west, we have a split here. So Volkmar the Grim can come in and decimate Amble Peak. This is starting us towards a don't know, industry, income section up in the mountains. Volkmar, we're starting to get everything up here, so we'll grab Woundmaker, and we can start looking at his army formations as well. Mentor for our gold wizard, so any of our new guys that come out will start gaining a lot more experience. And of course, the Grand Theogenist, not Grand Theogenist, the Patriarch of the Colleges of Magic can go in, occupy this, and that should give us the realm here. It's another Dwarven realm, but it does give us the total, and we can swap it over to growth, get those finished off. They're not far from being finished anyway. Supreme Patriarch, that's the words I was looking for. Came to me after I'd already stopped thinking about it, which is, you know, typical for me. I'm a little bit of a weirdo. Attrition from casualty repairs. When you see a legendary lord whose skills are not set up the way that you would set them up, and then you go in and have to sort them out as you're leveling them up once you've claimed them for your army. Wow, I'm rambling a little bit today, which, let's face it, not unusual. Man-at-Arms. There's not a lot of cavalry, but they do have those Grail Knights from Bretonnia and some artillery. But we have more infantry that can be in here, so let's go with Admired Infantryman. Balthazar Gelt's army, which helps him out.
It is time.
Next lord that hasn't moved. Okay, so Static Lore is in a position now where we're putting him into regular stance won't put him too far. Newsbacker, we can move up.
Elspeth von Draken. For gnome.
Let's see if we can actually surround this and then maybe move these guys in and fight Archaon the Everchosen. Saying valiant defeat right now just for Elspeth and that. But if we can get these guys up,
Yes, my lord. Yes, a sound plan.
that will allow us to get them into reinforcement range. So that's going to be a fight that we're going to do, but we're going to finish the turn with that.
I trust.
Have a whole bunch of troops come in to assist. Not too worried about Kygast over here. What we might want to do then is shift Franz to the west first to deal with the army coming out, and then shift east to deal with it. Nothing on that really matters till the next point. And he has full-on moved, so we can eliminate that and then head east. So that's what we're gonna do. Do a quick fight here. I know it's only 2 units, but I've been bad the last couple of weeks of just auto-resolving some of the fights, so yeah, we'll get back to doing it our way. I did do a playthrough of, I think it was Valkia, where I managed to 100% do all the battles, and it took me ages to do the sacking battles and the raiding battles that I would do. Oh yeah, you go in, you kill the same 7 units over and over and over and over again, and you're guaranteed to win the fight. But I was doing it for my mentality to see if I actually could stick with it, and I could. So I'm also trying to get better at the land battles so that I can make them more entertaining for you guys, which is always a plus, I guess. Well, not I guess, it is a plus. But we have a lot of artillery in this, and those Pegasus Knights. We're getting Bretonnian cavalry, which is always a good thing. It would be nice if you could have more than 4 units of allied from each army in an army, because then you could have Bretonnian cavalry. Wow, brain started out and started doing the mincing words. Bretonnian cavalry, Imperial infantry, Dwarven artillery, and then for some of the more esoteric stuff, you could get like Wood Elf archers and stuff in. It would be kind of neat.
Ready for war.
I forgot that Franz had lost a lot of his infantry.
Great cannon. Arena, guide our aim.
So we'll set up here. Oh, that's our steam tank. Set it off to the side so it can shoot. Set up our French knights there. Handgunners here. Hawkland long rifles behind. Franz can go there. Our wizard can go there because he's probably going to do a fair bit of damage. And that should be all set up right there.
wizards ready. The Helden Hammer!
Well, the trolls are already retreating.
What do you mean?
So that was an under a minute battle, but it wipes out another lord, so that's good. Ah, Marcus Wolfhart. Ideally, what I should be doing is when we get the other legendary lords due to the mod, we should automatically, the first turn they come up, hire them, and then reset their skill points with the stock reset that's in the game, and use that as our baseline to get all the points back. But I didn't do that on this playthrough, which, thinking back, is kind of silly, but it is what it is. Knocking all this out will be good for us. Alright, got a Whaling Banner, Seasoned Campaigner.
Bring me to my men. My orders are to move. I see no other
Franz might
option.
have to just run back and spend a turn in Burning Monolith to heal up. Do we have a Temple of Sigmar up here yet? No, we don't, but we do have two of these. So the Monolith of Festerlung, I think, is where we're going to set up a temple.
Praise Sigmar.
We got Marius Lightdwarf down here. Now, we are at war with everything up here. They have an army there. But let's pop up here, and we'll take the Pillar of Skulls, and then we'll try and take Carrick Doom. And then we'll go from there.
This is for the best.
Marcus, we got you coming ashore to go over and take the Fetid Catacombs, and that'll
Keep an
allow
eye
us to
out
have a
for
foothold
sea
up here.
monsters. The Emperor claims this place.
That'll allow you to
Marcus
heal up pretty quick.
Wolfhart.
Vasily von Gorst. That is the lord that we had that wasn't doing a lot over there. Do we have enough from the gunnery school to get some more amethyst units? We could get some amethyst Ironsides, amethyst Outriders, or we could get an amethyst Landship. Now, let's grab the Landship. And then back to the armory. Those are all maxed out there, which is fine. But then you can summon... Oh, we don't have money for it right now, but that's fine. Just need to know...
I am a warlord.
Maggot Lord is there. So we can pull down here and see about either drawing him out or something else. Is she just raiding up here? It's fine. We don't need to worry about it too much. PC, you got a level though. So we're going to need to sort out what you're doing. We'll give you Woundmaker. And then for Barrett, you'll get your first rank in Mentor.
The Empire.
And we'll just get you back to Karen Carr to reset what you're doing up there. Your Grimm's here. And Kalara. We have Foe Seeker. And more insights? Ian Sick. Templar? I'll take Templar for right now, I guess. Stuko's army hasn't moved fully. They have that Wa army up there, so let's pop into Karak Ungor. That's actually more money that we can start bringing in, so that'll help.
Get out me head! So,
We want him to go as hard and fast as he can to take that over. Ian is still... Yeah, because this was going to be our War Machine one with all the steam tanks and everything, so we gotta wait and build that up slowly. And we don't want to build those up, so we'll let the other nations go and see how it ends up. And see, apparently this Cornate Heroes moving around. Seriously, Khemri is pushing in hard into the mountains. I don't know if they're at war with the dwarves or not. Looks like they are. Granite Massive is under siege, it looks like, so we'll have to deal with that. Oh, and we forgot to do that fight. And Valkia doing her thing. That's why we weren't doing anything up there. We've got to do our big fight. We'll do it at the start of the next turn. No, we don't really want to do military access for the Sisters of Twilight just yet. We're far and away the most powerful force out here. The World Eaters are gone, or World Walkers are gone. So now your last point can go into assault units, and then you'll get your final one there.
It is time.
So what we'll do is we'll send Boris this way, and we'll send Cloud
to the provinces
towards Blood Peak.
Blessings of Sigmar upon you.
Volkmar, is there a way we can get you down to the Demon Stump? Looks like the dwarves are kind of bypassing it a bit. So we'll send you down and back around to go after the Demon Stump. Makes sense that you'd be going after demons, given that you are the head of the Sigmarite Church. And you'll go towards Firemouth. We've really cut the legs out from underneath most of the Orcish hordes. This does give us one advantage, though, and that's now they're in camp stance. You know what, let's just continue to siege for night now, but I won't forget it this turn, I promise. We want to get everybody else moving the way we need. We could get over to the Writhing Fortress, and then we can go to in camp stance, heal up a little bit before we get to it and start ooh, that stops up. Ooh.
As is my right by Sigmar's crown.
Where is our Electric Count state troops? We can grab some Knights of Moor. It's 2 turns for all of these, whereas it's 1 turn to do it on the global, so we might have to do that. We need some more infantry. The best infantry we can get is halberdiers, so that'll be that right there. They have an army of basically scrubs coming at us now, so yeah, we'll stay near the Burning Monolith and fight that off. Let's just fight this now, because we're going to need these troops to push east here pretty fast. They have a lot of heavy-duty Chaos Knights and Chaos Warriors, like halberds, chosen with halberds. These are all chosen. Garrison's really strong, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. But we'll jump in and we will use our artillery to do as much damage. We'll use Elspeth to drop just pie plate after pie plate on them. And hopefully we will be able to deal a crushing blow to them before we even have to think about engaging in melee. Because we'll have lots of reinforcements. It looks like Archaon's already got the Eye of Sheeran and other things. So I don't know if we're going to have to fight this to a matter of destruction of all enemy forces, or if we're going to be able to slip additional forces around into the flank, take one of these gates out, and push in and start taking the control points, the supply locations. But in so doing, we should be able to break this wall down at the very least and push through. We'll see where our reinforcements need to go when they arrive on the field. But with luck, Elspeth, Ulrika, and our artillery, especially these Hellstorm rocket batteries, because we have a lot of ammo thanks to our engineer, will be able to sit here and just rain death down onto the walls, onto all the Chaos forces in there, because we outshoot them without even having to. They have very, very limited ranged options. But this army under Archaon himself, that is a powerfully mixed army. Lots of cavalry, lots of regiments of renown. Like, these are all different Slaaneshi chariots. These are all knights of the other 3 gods, Nurgle, Khorne, and Tzeentch, obviously. These look like Slaaneshi? No, those are Tzeentchian Marauders. Should have seen the barrier up top. Yeah, they've got a lot of specialist units in there, but with any luck and planning, we shouldn't have too much trouble just sitting here and annihilating them. So as always, we'll group up our units. Bruckner could go in with his Demigryph Knights.
Hellstorm rocket battery.
It's not a good place to set up right there. I think we'll set up here. It's got better lines of sight.
At your service. We are Sigmar's heirs.
So we'll want Elspeth in a position where she can start dropping plates on people. And I was actually asked by one of the real-world friends of the channel why I say dropping plates, and that's an old reference to Warhammer 40k, where you would have literal pie plates. Well, that's what we called them. They were tools that you would use to determine where big artillery shells and stuff dropped, and we just referred to them as pie plates. So dropping plates on them is the nomenclature. So we're gonna have the cannon blast the tower.
Graveyard rose.
We're gonna drop some spells on the Chosen.
Champion of the Countess.
Okay, that is the tower shooting at them. Ulrika, can you drop right there?
Great cannon.
Troops are going to take a little bit of siege damage, but that's fine.
We serve the Emperor. Demigryph Knights. Take me to the fold.
Alright, Static Lore. You're going to come over here. We're going to try and break these walls down a little bit. What we should actually do is march our great swords up and get our gunners within range here. Let's just start pelting everybody up on the walls. At 7, we're going to mix you in with 1. Degroup you and mix you with 1. Those are archers, so we're going to leave them separate. You can go in with them. You are all regular handgunners, so we can mix you in there. You are Hawklands, so mix you in there. You can get mixed in with Bruckner. You two can come over here and set up to start shooting. So let's just reset everybody. Knights, we're going to get you to pop down over here to reset. You're a captain, so you can come over here. Elspeth, let's get you back up here. Our artillery isn't moving for right now. Static Lore and his steam tank can go there. That should be good. Send the Hammer of Witches over here. More troops entering the field.
Shadows at my call.
Executioner of Gnome.
They have a lot of troops over here, including the Skull Crushers. If we send the cavalry all the way down here, we might be able to break through the walls without too much extra trouble. We're going to take a little bit of siege damage, but this is going to be us breaking down these walls. That tower is gone. Let's actually just move our artillery up a little bit. Including our engineer. Right now, if anyone goes up on those walls, they're going to get slaughtered. And the idea is to try and draw them in. Now we have those flying knights coming in. Doom Knights of Tzeentch. Archaon himself is actually shredding us a bit with the spells that he has available to him. Let's take our cavalry down, see if we can get them to spread their forces out a little bit more. Throw a pit of shades on the other side of the wall.
Just another killer. Sigma!
Forgot how slow artillery moves.
Standing by. Sigma, guide our fire.
And we can speed it up and let our artillery break down the walls a little bit. And anyone who sits up on top of the wall is going to get trounced. Gotta get the hammer witches over into position so they can shoot where we need them to a little bit more. The fact that they keep putting people, especially their chosen and everything, up on the walls is kind of disturbing, but not surprising. We still have a lot of reinforcements, but we're not going to waste them. Those great swords out of the line of fire of that tower. We'll get you guys to help bring that tower down. Okay, Archaon got drawn all the way over there, so the knights did what they needed to do. How are our Hellstorms doing ammunition-wise? They're doing okay, but let's throw that first restock onto that one. Let's have our Amethyst Ironsides slide down a little bit so they can start shooting up onto this parapet. I want to kill as many of their troops as we can before we charge in recklessly. We've got some straight up broken ones. Start throwing some spells on the other side of the wall. They're just going to sit there with their Chaos Knights. I'm going to drop spells on them and artillery. Essentially, right now, it's sit and wait while the artillery and the magicians do all their work. The penultimate question is, do we want to try and get up on the walls and get our gunners in position to shoot from there? I think maybe once the chaos spawn here are dealt with. Because you can't break the chaos spawn. Our restock should be cooled down by now. Let's toss it on the other rocket battery. Let's just make sure that they're angled properly to deal with the most amount of threats. Let the missiles rain down. Are they actually going to pull their giant out? That would be actually quite lovely. What did we lose? Did we lose a unit of knights? Oh, our Demigryph Knights got knocked out. Huh. Guess I wasn't paying attention enough. Though we've lost them a couple of times, I don't think it's going to be a big issue overall. Nothing doing there, so I think it's time. They're almost out of ammo. There's not a lot of places up here because we've blown open the walls now. That's worth the risk. Let's send them in. Send our main infantry line in to hold the inside. And you two can go after that captain. Let's take our entire artillery train, move it up here. Hawkland long rifles there. Spare infantry can just pop down over onto this side. We'll line up if we have to. And we'll put Elspeth up front. Ulrika, we can get you inside. Static Lore is almost useless now because he's a steam tank and almost out of ammunition. But let's focus on killing some of these towers, I guess. Now our gunners are up in a position where they can just start shooting down off the walls. Without a lot of infantry, there's not much they can do. I mean, Archaon's going to get involved in this somehow. But he's cavalry. So he should be able to get up on the walls. And if he's just going to sit there, I think all their heroes now are cavalry too, so... Go hit Archaon with that, because he's been routed. Archaon's been defeated. Let's toss a breath down on those Dragon Ogres for the irony. And there we have it. Took us 20 minutes, but that's completely fine. And that is Archaon basically defeated. We did lose our Royal Altdorf Griffites, which are the Regiment of Renown Demigryph Knights. We have to reorganize Elspeth's army anyway, which means going back to our lands to do it, because we're going to drop out pretty much everything that isn't a Hawkland long rifle. Might drop these two guys out for additional Hawklands, drop down a couple of the Greatsword units, and maybe the Amethyst Ironsides to toss in some more Demigryphs and some more artillery. But that will have to be when we get back to the Empire, and that's going to take us a while. We are way up north. We have an entire campaign that we've got to turn west on pretty quick here. So we'll see how it goes out. Shouldn't be too long, though. That we'll have at least Archaon dealt with, so that the threat from Chaos from the north is done. So once this is over and Archaon's been pushed back or completely defeated, he'll show up in another Warriors of Chaos army for sure. We will be able to just keep fighting and fighting and fighting and pretty much just turf all of the strongholds in the north. Where I'm going to have issue is when we get over to the northern wall of Cathay. If we can't get full-on treaties and stuff with them going, then, well, could be an issue, because I'd like to be able to travel through Cathay to swing down to the Southlands and all that sort of stuff. And then swing west across the ocean to go to basically the southern tip of the Badlands and the Antarctic Circle. I know one of the polar gates is down there, and there might still be some Chaos forces, but it's the lesser of the two polar gates that collapsed. Mostly because there's less humans down there to be corrupted and twisted and, yeah, all that sort of neat stuff by the forces of Chaos. And for anyone interested, in Kamloops, where I live, every Friday night we've been meeting up at the Game Hub. Awesome little game store to play some BattleTech. Got a few people on board right now, so anyone wants to try out the tabletop game, Friday nights I'm usually there to hang out and play some BattleTech, and I have more than enough miniatures and cards and everything to play both Alpha Strike or Total Warfare. Get everyone involved, so go there. And even if you're not there to play BattleTech, they have Magic, they have board games, they have a ton of other stuff, and it's a really awesome little store. Not being paid to say that in any way, shape, or form, just my personal opinion, because they're awesome guys. And gals. And non-binary pals. Really inclusive. Alright, they got the other Trickster Shard, and we are going to occupy there.
There may be truths to uncover.
Lots of people were killed. Bloodfire Falls is secure. And we now have a massive place that we can just go, okay, Temple of Sigmar, Artillery School, Knights Barracks, College of Magic, Gunnery School, well, shooting range.
Elspeth von Draken.
And our good lady Ulrika, leveling up. She leveled up 3 times. Get her all a quiver. She's pretty much exactly how we want her to be right now. Oh, that's really awesome. Because that gives her the Dancing Blade. So yeah, I think maybe in future I wouldn't get her the increased mobility. I'd really rely on other stuff for that.
What does the Emperor bid?
You brass lung. Oh, you leveled up twice. Full plate armor. That'll help you out.
Master Engineer.
Static lore. Leveled up twice as well. Don't need deadly onslaught, but we can. You've already got Imperial Gunnery, so let's get Mighty Forge for the war machines that are in your army.
Never complacent.
Your captain, I think, was just onto these now. Grab Specialist just in case he ever leaves your army. Not that that's gonna happen.
Rider of the Dragon in Carmine.
We do have, apparently, the ability to get some research. We just don't have the money for any of the other ones, which is fine.
My inventions serve
Static, you're gonna sit there.
to the provinces, wherever my craft is needed.
We're just gonna go through all of our heroes and make sure everybody is moved to where we need them to. Marcus, you're just gonna sit there for the moment. You know, this Dark Elf Lord is starting to get some Scourge Runner chariots, which is kind of unfortunate.
Huntsman of the Empire.
Daniel Lebs. He took the Serpent's Jetty. Fortress of the Damned is where Nakari is.
champion of the faith.
You're still recruiting, which is fine. I'll give you another turn to heal up, and then we might send you across. PC. Now let's send you back to Marganeth still. And we'll get Bernhard Weber a level. Can't get any of the neat stuff quite yet, but we'll give him the last point in Woundmaker.
I will marshal the
PC
band.
will go over to Boris. Can't move much more. Garrison Lord has not...
Wolfhart.
Yeah, we don't need that. Unassigned skill points. Who's got it? Bruno von
Engineer.
Altdorf. Piercing shots, I guess? Ah, yes. He's Helborg's engineer. So that makes sense. And what
Let
can we
me
do
take
for
a
recruitment
look
here?
at you.
Yeah, it would take another few turns to start getting artillery and stuff here. Have to level up Backhaven to level 5. How much would that cost, actually? 14 grand, so
Yes,
it's gonna be a little while. That's Stuko's
What does the Emperor bid?
army.
Let us move.
So we're not under siege here right now, but we can push Snorko out of here. What kind of name is Snorko? Oh yeah, an orcish name. Because we got Sneak Muckraka right down here. But our dwarven friends are pushing hard.
I'd rather eat a squeak.
Looks like they're headed back towards their own lands, which not ideal for us, but we'll let the other nations go. 'Cause we've got a couple minutes left in this week's episode. That big battle with Archaon kind of took a little bit of time. Though it's time for me to run my mouth and let you all in on what's going on lately.
You are a nuisance.
No, we are not dealing with you because you're dead. The last defenders, we can't break our alliance, so now we're at war with some lizardmen. Which is a new front that I didn't really want to do. Okay, so they sent up a lot of forces. Go Pyrrhic on it, it's going to kill everything. So we're going to have to fight this one, and that'll probably be it for the week, because this is going to be a situation where we have to sit back and let our artillery do a lot of the work, which hopefully will help. Oh, they're sieging the city, and our forces will be inside the city? Hopefully? Who knows? I might lose this one. No, our reinforcements are coming from behind the enemy, and their reinforcements are all coming from over here. So this is going to be a mad dash to basically cut off this corner and defend these walls while we can. We just have to hold out long enough for our reinforcements to get on the field, and then we can smash another back line, get rid of all these bolt throwers, doom divers, spider riders? Yeah, maybe. I'm a little worried about their Wa army, but that should be coming in from this side as well. So it's going to be defend here and then push to this side and defend there. Get them locked into all the cityscapes and shoot as much as we can. Our handgunners and artillery are going to be less effective than they should be here. We're not going to be able to hold much of the wall for very long, especially if they just charge us. If I was the orcs right now, I'd be trying to blitz them. Oh, they decided to set up all down here. Well, isn't that interesting?
Sigma commands.
Yeah, so basically all we're going to be able to do right now is just hold on. We're going to have to set up some towers as quickly as we can. Hopefully we can get the supplies. How long until our reinforcements gets here? 1 minute and 47.
Rid them of life.
Ragnarok spider with a flinger on its back. battering rams. Right now, all we essentially want to do...
We are Sigmar's heirs! Crossbows ready, General! Form a ring of steel! Stop
Maybe we
them!
can get rid of some of their troops here? It's just hold on until our reinforcements get on the field, and then we can rush down all of our steam tanks and everything and hopefully trap them in a bad situation.
Spearmen! Form a ring of steel!
And they got big uns on that one.
Yes, sir! Shields up!
This is going to be a little bit tense. I'm glad we built our defensive towers where we built them so far. And at least some of their troops are getting shot to hell before they even get to us. 12 seconds. We just gotta hold out for 12 more seconds.
Withdraw!
Because their reinforcements are gonna be on the field here now. So we're gonna need to deny them here and here. Most of our forces are going to be needed on this side, I think. So we'll split 2 Hawkland long rifles there. 2 Hawkland long rifles here on the bridge. Hellblaster volley gun there. Single unit of Demogryph Knights to this side. Demogryph Knights over here. Steam tank. Second one in the center. Set our artillery up here. Our Hellstorms up here. All of our heroes are going to come over here. Hopefully shoot them to hell. And our reinforcements over here can start doing some work. Tower started up. Okay, they're already in the perimeter, which is not ideal for us.
I am a pyromancer! Yes, quickly!
I don't know if we're going to be able to win this one ourselves. In fact, I think what we should end up doing, trying to hold the center here. We can hold on to this, and we can hold on to our primary, we'll be better off. So let's group these up as we can and try and form some semblance of a defensive line. Our artillery is going to take some time to get up to us. And they already got forces that are moving through. So we definitely got to defend the center. Some Demogryph Knights here. We'll send them down. We will be able to hold. Demogryph Knights are going to have to do a fair amount of holding right now. If we can eliminate some of their stuff before they get to us. Where is our overall command center? It's right here, the center of the hold. So yeah, we definitely need to just hold here. So what can we do to emphasize our ability to hold the center here? Well, let's get a cannon tower set up. This is going to be holding onto our resources. One, our great swords will set you up there, and our Hawkland long rifles there.
Sighted and ready.
Almost all of our outer defenses troops have been destroyed. We're just going to have to rely on our demigryphs to slow them down, because they're just pouring in now. Snorko's retreating. Where he's retreating to, I don't know.
Demigryph Knights! Sigma calls!
So we've still got those Ragnarok spiders coming in. Let's just take our full set of Demigryph Knights and deal with these stone trolls as they're coming through. Where in Sigmar's name are all our great swords?
Standing by! Yes! Quickly! Be ready for war!
Our cannon tower is built.
General! Ah! Demigryph Knights! That's an order!
Let's drop the skull there. Nice that our great swords have finally decided to show up. So another skull off over there. Alright, so we're not doing too bad. They do have some of the capture points, which is unfortunate. Set of great swords there. Where are our rocket batteries?
What do you bid? Hailstorm rocket battery!
Get through the gates.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
You get set up there.
Enemy! By Sigmar, obey me! Ah! At your service! March! At speed! Handgunners! Quick march! Yes, sir! Quickly! Victory will be ours!
Throw another burning skull through them and see what happens there. You guys gotta get back down here. We have got to just hold this center line.
By Ulrich's wrath! Quick march! Engineer!
Our artillery is actually doing something now.
Great swords! By Ulrich's wrath! Fight! By Ulrich's wrath! Ready for war! Demigryph Knights!
Alright, lots of focus. We still got this. Not doing too bad.
We are Sigmar's heirs.
See, we can drop a skull through them and get them to hit twice.
Burn everything.
Get our great swords over there to start fighting. So Ragnarok spiders should be done here pretty quick. We can move on to these guys. This army came all this way to fight orcs and goblins, and they're doing it just...
Handgunners.
We are losing a lot of troops. And one of our rocket batteries got squigs all over it. Beautiful.
Soldiers of the Empire. Moving. Drementfh Knights. Whoa! Shoot! I'll burn them.
Swung around us this way somehow. Went all the way down that ramp.
No lingering! Gifted tinkerer! The winds glow hot! For the twin-tailed comet!
Alright, with their leader dead, we might be able to sort this out a little bit. They have so many Ragnarok spiders.
The Empire
Almost
endures.
ridiculous.
For Heldenhammer!
That's one rocket battery gone. We're probably going to lose our other one because they've got forces all over the place down here. I think we might actually lose this siege.
Heading out!
So our army down there might need to rebrand itself from artillery or war machines into just a straight up regular army.
By Ulrich's wrath! Prepare for combat! A handy tool!
And let's reload that Hellblaster volley gun.
Soldiers of the Empire! Yes, my lord. Quick march! Standing by! Loaded, sir. Ready for war!
Hold the center and we can still win this.
Kindle flame! Battle awaits! Great swords! For Heldenhammer! At speed!
With our artillery train's getting so messed up, this isn't good.
Attack! In your sights! Summon fire! I channel fire!
Alright, gave it sneaking stabbing.
We serve the Emperor!
Where's the other steam tank?
We are Sigmar's heirs! Sigmar, preserve us!
We're surrounded, but we're doing okay. Is there any other towers that we're able to set up right now, or are we just limited to the center of this field? Because it's not looking great.
Artillery!
And here comes some river trolls.
Great swords! Bright wizard!
We're still living. We're still living.
Ready for war! Pick target!
Might be with dementia, but we're still living.
Sigmar commands! Moving!
Oh, one of the batteries got stuck at the edge of the map. That's brilliant.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
About to lose a steam tank.
Sigmar guides for Heldenhammer! I'll burn them! To us, the foe! Go!
Do you you still have a gun? You do have a gun.
The Empire endures! Yes! Sigma calls! Charge! Enact judgment! Yes, quickly! For Heldenhammer!
Alright, the Ragnarok Spider is dead.
Our weapons are yours! Great swords! For Heldenhammer! Ready for war! Ready for war!
Alright, they should be losing morale here pretty quick.
Marina, guide our aim! Shoot! For Heldenhammer! Engineer! Get them! To battle!
Alright, we're still living, we're still living. We're good. We're good.
By Ulrich's wrath! For the Warhammer!
I think most of their melee troops are done for anyway.
Slay the heretics! Take position! Sigma! Sigma calls! We are ready!
We still got full units of artillery outside here, and rock lavas and all that. Let's send this unit of great swords to go deal with them. This unit of great swords. We deal with the chariots over here. Well, it was a Pyrrhic victory, but it was a victory. So, whew, managed to get them to break. We lost a lot of troops, but they lost 3 times as many. So I guess you can count that as a win. We lost 500, they lost 1,500. Makes me want to play a goblin playthrough and do like the whole night goblin thing. Sneaky, sneaky, stabby. That would mean playing as Skarsnik, and I don't know if I can do it. Not really sure anyway, because I would love to play Night Goblins and have just one little Forest Goblin army that has a whole bunch of Spider Riders in it. I don't know if that'll be enough to dissuade them from continuing to attack, but if we can get our army into the settlement, make it so we can defend it easier, I guess. We lost a lot of men, a lot of really important and tough troop types to just goblin whatever-y. But Snorko himself is dead, which is good. Ran in front of some Hochland long rifles and found out the hard way that's not the best place to be. The fact that he lost every Ragnarok spider he sent against us, that is a massive investment that they have just lost. And might actually hurt the Orcs and Goblins' ability to keep pushing west. We have a second army that we can bring up to reinforce this one and just deal with it, but we'll see how we got to do that on future episodes, because it took us a little bit over time there for that one, but we will see how the results ended up as soon as it loads up. It's been loading really, really slow lately for some reason, ever since the last update that they gave us. So that's why I get to natter on these loading screens a little bit longer than normal. I would cut them out, but it's a good chance to just sit and talk and figure out what we're going to do and keep the thoughts organized in my head. I will note that I am now impressed with the Flinger Ragnarok spiders. And I know we're getting a new update soon with a new Norskin spellcasting legendary lord. Seal? The traitor one? He's going to act a lot like Tretch Craventail, I think. Don't ally with him because he's going to betray you at some point. Don't know where he's going to start. Although I would like to see less Chaos factions and less Norska factions, though Norska did need some love, I will not deny that. 2 legendary lords, and that's all they've had the entire time they came up here. There's so many cool legendary lords they could have had. But we need to start seeing things like the Continent of Ind, maybe a little bit more to do with Cathay. A couple updates other places. Just general quality of life stuff, because there have been like 5 Thunderdomes now. Bretonnia is just straight up a Thunderdome. It's stuck between the Skaven, the Wood Elves, Marienburg, the Orcs there, Grom the Paunch, and Bellicor. So yeah, we lost a lot of stuff. We managed to keep both of our Hellblaster volley guns, at least 1 steam tank, so that's okay. But they definitely need some help, because over here, yeah, and there's another decisive defeat at a settlement that we knew we were going to lose, so just play that through. Yeah, Bretonnia is basically flanked on all sides by people who don't like them, especially with Nakari.
Of the Empire.
Chaos is just everywhere. Alright, so Shane Lin might be going to war with us soon, and we might have to deal with him. Oh, the Exiles of Khorne are gone, which means Skarbrand's going to show up in another army soon. Alright. Just going to check out the woods before anything, or the mountains before we do anything else, see how that army is looking, and that's where we're going to call it for the week.
I will marshal the band.
Bump that up a little bit.
Now,
Stuco may have fled the battle by himself, but that's okay. Just gonna finish leveling his army up because he kind of deserves it. They did a very, very difficult battle situation that they shouldn't have been in. Grab him the Sunmaker, give him another regiment of renown. And having dealt with that, these 2 armies are now basically screwed over, and they got hit by the forces of Tzeentch. Tzeentchian spawns in his army. Oh, I gotta love that. Love it when that happens. But that is gonna do it for this week. If you liked the video, please consider that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, join me in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And please do leave a comment down below to say that you want to get involved, because it just makes my life a whole lot easier and makes it easier for me to keep track and get you into these Let's Plays. Want you to be a lord or a character or a hero, it'd be great. But remember, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.